After correlation and covariance, the next topic related to correlation and covariance is regression. What exactly is regression is? It's a statistical method which helps to estimate the unknown value of one variable. Estimate unknown value of one variable from known value of another variable. From the known value of another variable. From the another variable, from the known value of another variable which is related to it, from the other variable, other related, I should say related variable. Okay, that would be called regression. Okay, yes. Now, regression line of x on y. I'll be having regression lines. Usually, of course, regression is, I can have linear regression, I can have multiple regression, I can have logistic regression. Let me list out linear, multiple, logistic. Okay, and many more probably. Okay, but then here I'll be talking about, in this video, I'll be talking about linear regression. So I'll be talking about the lines of x on y and y on x. Regression lines of regression line of x on y or y on x is that one only. Y on x is that line only. What that is, that we'll be using always. Okay, regression line of y on x, x or x on y. Y on x is that line only. X on y is nothing but x minus x bar is equal to correlation coefficient sigma x by sigma y into y minus y bar. X on y is x minus x bar is equal to, okay, yeah. Now, this term, whatever is there, that can be given a notation. X minus x bar is equal to bxy. X on y, na? The line is x on y, na? So, bxy, y minus, like this I can write. What is bxy? Bxy is r sigma x by sigma y. Okay. Now, similarly, if I have to write regression line of y on x, regression line of y on x, y on x. How do I write it? Is y minus y bar is equal to byx into x minus x bar. Okay. Yeah. What is byx? Byx is nothing but r into sigma y by sigma x. If it is byx, then sigma y by sigma x. If it is bxy, it is sigma x by sigma. Okay. Yeah. Now, there are some properties about regression coefficients that you should know. Of course, I should say, I should list here, I should list and write here that bxy is regression coefficient of x on y. Okay. byx is regression coefficient of y on x. Okay. Yeah. So, there are some properties about this regression coefficients, guys, which are very, very important and which you ought to know. With which only I will be constructing the regression lines. Okay. What are those properties is, of course, regression, first property is regression line passes through, first property, let me list out properties. First property is regression line passes through, regression lines passes through the point, the mean passes through the point x bar comma y bar. Okay, this we'll use while solving problems, that's why you ought to know. Okay, Also, since just see the product of bxy and byx, guys, you will find out certain things. B of the same data. If I am finding bxy and byx, and how will they be? Sigma into bxy is sigma x by sigma y, r into. Similarly, this is sigma y by sigma x. Now, what happens? This turns out to be r square. Now, r square, I can rewrite it. I can rewrite it as under root of bxy into byx. Yes or no? Now, I know something about r. What's the limit for r? Mod r is less than or equal to 1. Right? So, the same thing is valid for regression coefficients also. Product of regression coefficient should always be less than or equal to 1. That means what? One regression coefficient is reciprocal of the other, I should say like this, not reciprocal actually. One regression coefficient, if it is greater than 1, the other one should be less than 1. Why? Because the product of regression coefficient turns out to be r square. I know the limit for r or r square. See, this is r square. Let me write like this. R square is equal to bxy into byx. Bxy into byx. R square maximum value can be 1 only. Okay. Less than or equal to 1 only. Right? So this should be less than or equal to 1 only. That means what? If one is greater than 1, the other one should be less than 1. This is a very important point which you ought to remember. Using this point only, if I am being given two regression lines, I will be tracing out which one is the line for x on y and which one is the line for y on x. This property or this rule has to be compulsorily satisfied. And the other one, it passes through x bar, y bar. If you are being given some data and asked to find the mean, then I will use the first property. Okay, these are the basic important ones. There are little more things also, which we'll talk probably in the next video. Okay, yeah. Actually, I'll just do one problem where everything is being given. Example, just see one example. You are being asked to find regression lines only. Regression lines you are asked to find. What data is being given is, just see there's a table here. There's a table. This is x value. These are all y values. I have average. I have standard deviation. I also have a correlation. I also have R. Okay, average of x is 30. Standard deviation is 5. R is 0.8. Okay. And this is 500 kgs. Different units, x and y are in. This is 100 kgs. Average, standard deviation. Correlation is the same for all. So how do you find it, guys? It's very simple, na? How do I find regression line? Average means what? X bar only, na? This is x bar. This is what? Y bar. This is what? Sigma x. This is what? Sigma y. So I have all the data. So very easily I'll be finding the regression lines of y on x. If I want to find y on x, how will it be? Y minus y bar is equal to R into sigma x into sigma y into sigma y by sigma x into x minus x bar. I'll put all the values, simplify it, get the equation. Y minus y bar is 500. What's R being given to me? 0.8. Sigma y by sigma x. Sigma y is what? 100. Sigma x is what? 5 into x minus x bar is what? 30. I'll simplify this, get the answer. Okay. Similarly, I can find regression line of x on y as well. If you are asked to find some value, what that is for x is equal to 40, what's the value of y? What is y if I am asked to find out? I'll substitute here, x is equal to 40 and then get the value of y. Is it simple? And then coming to regression line of y on x. Regression line of y on x I have found out. X on y if I have to find out also same formula. What's it? X minus x bar is what? 30. This is equal to what? R into 5 by 100 into y minus y bar, y minus 500. That's it. I'll be getting the regression lines like this. Okay. This is a very simple problem and which is a very important problem as well. Okay.